welcome to your reading for February 7th through the 13th. Obviously, there have been some additional changes with scenery here. But that's just kind of how I am. I like to switch things up and kind of see how things flow, see how things go. I'm just shuffling up this final deck here. So just bear with me. If you don't know who I am, my name is James. I am an intuitive tarot reader, or just an intuitive reader in general. Finally coming out, trying to bestow my gifts upon the world so that this thing might drive me crazy. Jeez. So anyway, the layout is going to be a little bit different this time. Instead of 3 columns, there's going to be 4. And each one's going to have their own meaning behind it instead of just kind of like overall current general news. I feel like that got a little bit redundant, so I'm going to go ahead and change it up a little bit. It was actually my original idea to do it this way, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I got different cards to use here as well. I've already shuffled them, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this card off here, the Tower. All right. So this is going to be the overall energy. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but it's the Tower card right here. The Tower. Let me pull these out real quick. So this left row is going to be the recent past that's still kind of affecting your current. 2 middle rows here are going to be the current energies of this week. And then what's coming based off the energy. It's the final row here. And I'm going to show the cards to the camera as I go along. So first card here is the Tower. All right, so that's the overall essence of this week that's coming up for the 7th through the 13th. And the Tower speaks about foundations crumbling. Okay, so basically you might be starting to experience something that is going to kind of shake you down to your core. It could be sudden or unexpected. And it's going to look different for everyone who experiences it, because obviously we are all playing our own stories. And I'm sorry if you don't get to see my face here, but it's just how I wanted it set up, I guess, for this time around. And probably, moving forward as well, because I like being able to show you guys the full layout. I wish I had a camera pointing down so you could see as I'm looking at them, but it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, so the Tower overall essence is like, stuff's going to start happening in order to break you down to your core, whether in relationships, career, finances, whatever it may be. It's going to wind up shaking things that were previously unstable so that you can move forward and build something new. So some people don't like this card, but it is what it is, and it helps you rebuild a better, stronger foundation. Okay, so that's the overall essence of this week. All right, so the recent past, it looks like there was some sort of offering. There was some sort of physical contribution that was started here. And it looks like it helped you make a decision to move forward. All right. This is the 2 of Wands here. It's all about making a choice and stepping on to something much better, brighter, and ultimately in alignment with your passions. But it looks like this Ace of Pentacles here is kind of what helped you do that, because it may have required money or some sort of material aspect to move forward with. So whatever happened in the recent past, that's still affecting you till this day. It could have been a move, could have been a new business venture, it could have been, and I'm being ambiguous here because I have to be. Unfortunately, I'm not speaking to just one person. So I'm just giving you examples of what it could look like. Moving to a new house, getting the money to move to a new house, getting the money to move to a new environment, maybe even just buying something that allowed you to step forward on a new adventure, a new journey. So that happened in the recent past, and recent to me can be anywhere from now, and I'm going to say up to about 6 months ago. You could even look at it even a few months ago, and it could have happened just extremely recently as well. However it resonates for you, because again, it's going to look different for everybody. All right, so the current energy of this week, coming week, is the Star card and the King of Pentacles. All right, so how I kind of read these, it can be kind of different, and like for the extended cards that kind of show up with the sorry, I'm kind of getting used to the angle here. the extended card in relation to the original card that it's underneath. So the star card is all about, so it definitely feels like this is more of a financial. It could be more physical, like starting, working out, getting your fitness or your health back into shape. It could be working towards creating a solid routine that in regards to how you manifest money or how you show up in the world in a physical sense, right? And it looks like there's a lot of guidance in relation to that, okay? So there's a lot of hope and guidance and even healing in internally, because we have the Merkaba here. This right here represents the Merkaba. It's about transcendence, ascending past the level and being able to move forward. This is supposed to represent the body of light that we inhabit, right? Or that is us, I guess I should say. But ultimately, the star card just represents being guided, being hopeful, and moving towards something that feels like, in a lot of ways, destiny. And that can be very healing because of that. It's almost like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's in relation to routines, physical constructs, and even finances, because I'm trying to get a good angle with this. The light kind of makes it, yeah, I can do that. King of Pentacles represents someone who is he's a very learned person. He involves himself with wisdom. He's very financially stable, and he moves towards things that will create more of that, essentially. So that's kind of what I'm feeling for the current energies, is like there may be something that comes up during this week that kind of guides you in a direction that may be more financially fulfilling, financially stable, new routines, physically, for your health, stuff like that, okay? Next card is Temperance and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so basically, all right, so the Temperance card is all about creating balance, all right? And a lot of times it can be emotional balance, but which emotional imbalances can pertain to finances being unstable or relationships being unstable. But it looks like, it's almost like there's a balance that's coming in, that's creating stability out of a period of like maybe not being super clear on what it is that you want. Okay, so balance in mindset, balance in emotions, so that you can make the choices that need to be made in order to move forward, right? Because the Seven of Cups represents having to make a choice and having many choices before you, whether they're small things, whether they're big choices, choosing where to move to, choosing where to live, different houses to choose from. If you're trying to start a business, there might be different ideas that come up that may be grabbing your attention. You don't know which one to choose, but ultimately, it's about making a choice in your life that may be sort of confusing at first, but the balance is saying, okay, coming from a balanced point of view, stabilize yourself clearly and emotionally so that you can make the right choice. And generally, it's going to be coming from the heart, right? So as long as when you know it's coming from the heart, then go for it. All right, so what's coming because of that, because of everything that we're seeing before us, is the Three of Swords and the Sun. So I'm basically, okay, these can be very conflicting cards because the Three of Swords definitely represents some sort of, there's three swords stabbing into this heart. This is probably one of the most unfavorable cards to have because it does represent loss. It can represent heartache. But the thing is, when you're trying to make a choice in order to move forward, a lot of times you will have to make sacrifices. And the sacrifice, and because the Tower is kind of the overarching essence of this week, this could be coming up unexpectedly. But what you don't see right away, even if you may be feeling kind of heartbroken because of what's about to happen, just know that the extended card is the Sun. All right, so this is going to help illuminate prior endeavors and prior prospects in relation to what is about to unfold, so that you can bring in more happiness, basically, because the Sun is like one of the most positive cards in the tarot deck, and it wants to bring you happiness and sunshine, especially after a period of potential heartbreak. And the heartbreak does not have to be relationship. The heartbreak can just be anything that you may have been emotionally attached to, or emotionally attached to, that when it goes away or is taken away or you push it away, it's going to create some sort of heartache, right? It doesn't have to be a relationship, but it definitely can be. But it definitely makes sense that could be happening, because when foundations are broken up, that's ultimately what's going to happen. Is like, you may feel a sting right here in the heart, and just know that the Three of Swords also represents healing at the same time. So what you feel pain with is actually being shown to you a wound that needs to be healed so that you can move forward. But ultimately, I believe it's what's going. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not really sure what happened, but the recording cut out for no apparent reason whatsoever. Makes sense though, because guess what? We're still on Mercury retrograde. It doesn't even end until a couple of days from now. So technology will be, unfortunately, faulty more so than what it is after it or before it. So anyway, I'll basically finish the tarot card reading. Basically, just whatever happens as far as there a loss that may come in, just know that it's making space for something much happier. And that's kind of a vague way to put it, but it is what it is, right? You know, foundations are coming down, and you'll know what this is when it starts happening. But you're being guided towards something much more fulfilling financially and physically. It's going to help bring in balance, and it's going to help bring clarity to the choices that are going to be basically bestowed before you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next part of the reading here. Let's see what the outcome is. Yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, so for the outcome or the clarifying card on the past here, is the Four of Wands. Okay, so this could definitely be pertaining to a marriage or some sort of ceremonial celebration that you needed money for, that you really wanted to do. Obviously people want to get married, but the choice that you wanted to move on and have something new for your life, that's what this was that's the clarifying card here, is saying that there was some sort of celebration or a ceremony or just an achievement of sorts that eventually came out of this offering. You know, you receive some sort of financial gain or material asset in order to move forward on this passionate decision of yours. And it looks like this was the outcome, the Four of Wands, some sort of celebration here. If it wasn't obviously marriage, then it brought you into a stable, happy home life. Maybe even, this card, like, to me, it doesn't represent moving, but it can represent establishing a home or some sort of something that helps you create a better foundation for yourself, and it creates happiness, right? You know, this card is all about celebration in some form or fashion. It can be marriage, it can be establishing a home setting as well, right? Clarifying card for the Star and the King of Pentacles is the Knight of Pentacles. Yep, so this is talking about steadily moving forward, planting the seeds. It's not a very fast moving card, but it is actionable. And it's about kind of like not putting the pedal to the metal, but essentially taking those steady steps forward, planting those seeds so that you can bring in more material assets, more money. And it does make sense for these cards because you're being guided towards something. You're taking your step forward that feels like you're being guided towards. It's going to help you create the King of Pentacles kind of personality where you feel more abundant and you feel steady and routine and grounded into this new situation. And it's just talking about moving forward. And that's really all this card is saying. It's about you gain things. It's about putting in the work now so that you can bring it in the future, right? Moving forward steadily. Over the Temperance card and the Seven of Cups is Six of Swords here, and I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe this balance here, or the confusion, is the feeling of wanting to move on after a period of maybe not feeling so well. You know, maybe you've been through some sort of exhaustive battle, so to speak, not an actual battle, but just like a challenging, energetic period of time where you may feel exhausted because all these challenges and obstacles kept coming up. People in your lives that have been combating you, or just mental challenges, even being stressed at work, stressed at home. Either way, it's you're trying to make a decision that's going to ultimately help you move on and leave everything behind yourself. You know, this person has got everything he needs there's much more calmer waters ahead, that he's leaving behind these choppy waters. And that's basically like almost every time I see this card, that's what I get. You're moving on. There's a feeling of wanting to move on, and you will ultimately achieve that. And the clarifying card for this final spot is the Fool. Awesome card. I love it. Especially for that final card there is with a Three of Swords coming in, that may not be very favorable because something may be lost here that's tied to emotion in your heart. Ultimately, it's going to bring in happiness, and that happiness is very much tied to the new beginning that's going to await you after that. So, Tower coming in, shaking up your foundations, and then bam, at the very end here, you have a new beginning. That's what's coming in. Awesome card to have, in my personal opinion. But yeah, pretty cool. So, I think did I already do this? Yeah, I think I did. I'm not going to do that again. Pull a couple of cards here. All right, so first quarter moon in Aquarius says trust the universe, and it has the third eye chakra here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Third eye chakra talks about intuition. So anytime you pull a first quarter moon card with this deck, it's talking about a certain chakra point within your spiritual self that needs to have focus, right? If your third eye chakra is out of balance, you won't feel intuitively guided or connected to the universe and therefore your higher self to be able to move forward on a new adventure, right? You may feel a little bit disconnected. So what this is saying is actually trust the universe. If you need to get more in touch with your third eye, I recommend meditating on it. That's what I've done over the past few to several years, off and on, not strictly every day, but off and on. And all you have to do is just focus your attention right here. Whenever you're meditating, clear your mind, focus your attention right here, and eventually you're going to build up enough energy in that area that you'll start feeling it tingle, you'll feel pressure, and ultimately it's going to help stimulate your pineal gland on the inside of the back portion of the inside of your brain. And that part is what's called your third eye. Your third eye is what helps you bring in these different vibrations that help you feel more connected with the internal reality so that you do have more trust with the universe. Another physical way to look at it is you might be experiencing headaches frequently. If that's something that you do experience, if the third eye chakra is out of balance, that is. Almost anything to kind of do with like the head space. If your third chakra is out of balance, you will definitely start experiencing stuff within your head. So trust the universe, allow it to guide you, which is obviously what's happening anyway. First quarter moon in Pisces, honor your feelings. Okay, honor your feelings. It also has the Sahasrara chakra. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but it's the crown chakra. It's the one that sits right above your head. It deals with divine wisdom, being even more connected to like the internal reality, and therefore allowing this wisdom to come through your beingness. The third eye chakra is more about intuition, clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. It's a psychic sense. Being able to see things happen before they actually happen, or feel into it, or see into it. The crown chakra is more about connecting with higher intuition and higher perspectives in order to get a much higher perspective about what's happening in your overall life. But this is more saying honor your feelings, all right? So, you may be kind of feeling like you've been overstimulated, you've been maybe angry or sad, or just not really experiencing something that you normally experience for extended periods of time. And it's just saying that no matter what you are experiencing, it's going to teach you something more about yourself. So it's basically saying just honor that. Honor those feelings within yourself, because we all experience them, right? Don't be too hard on yourself, and just know that it is creating some sort of purpose in your life to be able to experience those. So turbulent times do call for turbulent measures, but either way, just honor your feelings. All right, so that concludes this reading. Aries, appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep doing these readings on the weekly basis as well as a monthly basis. And I've already just recently done a new moon reading as well. So if you didn't watch that, please watch that. It was a great reading for this new moon and what the energies are bringing in. I'm going to be doing some for full moons and all the eclipses as well, the lunar and solar eclipses. So Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.